I had a friend ask me to make this bandana for her because she saw it on TikTok and it was cute. So I thought I would, but it was an interesting process. I had some yarn that I bought already, along with I had to buy that yellow yarn. But I was trying to remember what pattern I used for it. It was like the same pattern that I used for a granny square cardigan. And I couldn't remember if it was like 11 double crochets or 10. So there were a few times. This yarn was such a pain to work with when I was just patterning it out. Well, not patterning, but blocking it. No, not blocking. It was gauging. That's the right word. But no, I was gonna use this yarn, one of those like quick stashes from Hobby Lobby, but it did not work out, which I will later figure out because it was too big for what I wanted to go for. And I also couldn't figure out how many spaces I needed to make the 12 petals. And that's me really trying to figure it out. It did take me a while to figure out how many spaces are needed with the 12 petals too. So I was kind of tweaking out for longer than needed. Like, really? I finally did go with one thing, and then I started on the purple yarn to see how big the square was. I did not like how it was turning out because there'd be weird bumps when I do it, and that was just because the white yarn was too big with the purple yarn that I was working with. So I later switched to my thinner yarn. So I had to undo all of that, and it was a giant mess. But I did start with the right yarn this time. I should have used a smaller yellow yarn too, but I finally used this like shinier white yarn. I didn't mean for it to be shiny, but I wasn't trying to spend a bunch of money on it. But I had like a bunch of cheap yarn that I got like on really low sale. So that's where I got that white yarn from. But you see me there, I made half squares, which were definitely different, especially with the daisy. But it wasn't so bad, like once you get the hang of it. And then sewing it all together took a million years because I thought I needed only like 10 squares. It was like 12 or something, but I ended up having to make another 10 squares. But I made a scallop border for it, and then I added the straps to it, and I was like kind of concerned with how bulky it was, but it honestly wasn't as bulky as I thought. And then I made the straps probably longer than they needed to be. I tried it on myself just to see how it would look, and it did turn out really cute. I contemplated keeping it for myself, but she was paying me, so I let her have it.